The beautiful thing is that when you create that feeling yourself, the thing is going to come in anyway, but that's not the source of the feeling. The manifestation is not the source of the feeling. You are the source of the feeling. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Lorena. I am a self-concept coach, and I support women in shifting their self-concept, stepping into their highest potential or embodying their highest potential so that you can really align with your most heartfelt soul desires that are really authentic to you, and so that you can manifest anything, really anything that you desire in your life. If you haven't already, please leave a subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos and so you can be part of this beautiful community. And if you end up liking this video, please leave a like. Also, it really supports the algorithm. And if you want to dive into some free resources, check out the links in the description box below. I've got some master classes and I have a free guidebook on manifesting through a holistic and emotionally integrated approach where you really get to learn how to change your state of being in this way, and it's filled with practices and information, and I would love for you to have this. So now let's dive into the video. So I'm very excited for this video because it's all about how feeling truly is the secret for you to manifest anything you desire in your life. And we're also going to go into why the feeling is really everything you want anyway. So feeling is really the secret, and that is actually a book by Neville Goddard as well. But what it really means to me is that the sensational, the physical experience of what you desire is really going to bring it in. If you feel that it's already here, feel, not just think, if you feel that it's already here, if you feel it with your whole being, it's going to directly impact how you show up and how you approach your vision and how you move forward with it, how you treat the people around you. It's going to impact everything. And it's going to open you up to receiving that exact thing or person or experience you desire. It's important for us to speak a little bit about the feeling or the emotion versus the thought, because in a lot of manifestation teachings, you hear that it's the thought that creates your reality, thoughts create your reality, but it's not the thought itself that manifests, it's the entire state of being. And your thought is a part of that, but it's not everything. If you just have a thought, it's not inherently going to change the way you feel. It's not inherently going to change the way you show up. It's not inherently going to change your reality. Said differently, if you have a thought, but you don't have the feeling to accompany that thought, the change won't happen. Let's say you have the thought, I am loved or I am rich, but you don't feel loved and you don't feel rich, nothing is going to happen. I will say that emotions, feelings, and thoughts are symbiotic, so they do influence each other. And what also plays into this actually is behaviors and actions. So if you act the way your future self would, you're more likely to think the way and feel the way your future self would. And if you think the way your future self would, you're more likely to also feel that way and to behave that way, and so on. Now, I say more likely because it's not a guarantee. A lot of people really love using and teach using affirmations and nothing else, because the premise is, well, if you think it often enough, you're going to start feeling that way, but that's not necessarily true. So it's not just thoughts, not just feelings, not just behaviors, it's really a combination, and all of that makes up your state of being. So if you're only trying to change your mindset, by the way, if you're still in that stage of the process, skip that. What I teach you here is a holistic approach, and if you're not familiar with that, or even if you're familiar with that, I want to give you a little reminder also. We need a combination of things. We need the feeling and the thought and the behavior to align. So we need our nervous system to be open and ready and feel safe to receive. We need our perspective to have shifted. We need our mindset to be in alignment with what we desire to call in. We need to be able to feel into that reality, and we need to integrate all of these emotions and all of these past patterns that don't align with that. We need to really have the spiritual connection as well, so we can have the trust and the faith and not be purely practical. So it's a combination of everything, and that's why the process that I teach my clients really works, because it's so holistic and it's so strategic, and it has a lot of unique elements that really make up a beautiful combination that you honestly don't find anywhere else. And there's a lot of teachings or teachers that focus on modalities and practices. And I do think modalities and practices are powerful. I use modalities also, right? I use breath work, I use shadow work, I use imagination, but those are all modalities. It's not going to work on its own. It all works in combination and connection. It all weaves into one another. So just modalities on their own are not going to create the change. And I already spoke about what makes up your state of being, and that's the same with your self-concept. Your self-concept is not just made up of thought. A large part of it is the beliefs that you have about yourself, but it's also about the feeling and the behavior, because when you step into a new self-concept, what it really means is that you align with the version of you who already experiences that reality, that vision that you desire. So you are actually becoming that person. You are truly transforming into that. You are not just thinking about it. You are not just dreaming about it. You are not just changing your beliefs around it. It's a full process. It's a full transformation. And all of that comes with a certain way of feeling, not a certain way of thinking or visualizing. It comes with, it's experiential. It's experiential. It's something that you feel in every cell of your body. And even the way imagination should be used, if you're, for example, a big fan of visualization, which I am too, it's not just a mental process because you're working with the subconscious. It does require integration first and foremost, and it also requires you to incorporate your body. There's a specific process that I teach my clients, or that I guide my clients through, to really transform or use their imagination in a very holistic way. So all of the senses are tackled in a really beautiful and strategic way that really gets them into that state, fully immersed. And it's so beautiful when you can use your imagination in such a powerful way and not just stay in the visualizing and in the mind. Because when you hit that feeling and you have shifted your self-concept accordingly, meaning you have also integrated your shadows, you have also transformed your identity, you have transformed your beliefs about yourself and what's possible for you. When you have brought all of that together, you have become your future self, and you will be able to sustain it because it's such a combined, holistic process. And when you can really sustain the embodiment of that version of you, there is no way that vision will not come to fruition. It will happen. It has no choice but to happen. Persistence will not be effort anymore because it's just natural for you to keep going. It's just how you are now. So this is why feeling is so essential to manifest. But feeling is really, if you're really honest with yourself, also the motivation to manifest. Most of the time, you think you want something, you have a desire and you think you want the thing, but what you truly want is the feeling that you believe will come with the thing. So the desire itself just represents a feeling that you want to have, which, by the way, does not invalidate the desire itself, but it does actually make it a lot simpler and a lot more easeful for you if you admit to yourself and you recognize that what you truly want is a feeling. And in my work with my clients, we really work on getting to the root of that desire also, the feeling that we're after, but also other elements that play into it, because most people only scratch the surface when it comes to developing their vision, and your subconscious mind also hides things from you because it wants to protect you. actually quite a beautiful mechanism. But that is why getting to the authentic root of your desires is really key. It's going to make the process a lot easier for you, because often we're making it a lot more complicated for ourselves. We can really simplify it a lot. And when you get to the root of your authentic desire and the feeling that comes with it, it becomes quite effortless, because most people don't actually get to that root. Most people aren't as clear on what they want as they think. For example, if you have a desire, but there's some doubt in you, that needs exploration. That doesn't mean that it's not possible. That doesn't mean that the desire is not valid, but it does mean it needs exploration, because that doubt could come from something in your self-worth, unworthiness issues. It could come from just not seeing the possibility. It could come from not being clear on what that desire truly is and thinking it's something that it's actually not. It could have different sources, and that's why that needs exploration, the desire itself. And the beautiful thing is, and that's why I explore the truth, the authenticity of their desire with my clients also, is when you get to the root of your authentic desire, it just has to come true, because it's meant for you. Like, you're supposed to have your authentic desires. They are here for a reason. So once we really simplify it, strip it all down, it can get really easeful and really beautiful. And I feel like I say this in every video, but I also need to touch on how your self-concept is really everything when it comes to anything, but when it comes to the feeling that you're after also. Because I did a video on this a month ago or so, but receiving your manifestation will not change anything for you. Let's say you manifest the money, the relationship, the thing, the experience, but you don't feel worthy of it, or you haven't fully stepped into that future version of yourself, or your nervous system isn't fully feeling safe or feeling ready to receive it. Well, it may come in, but it will not fulfill you, because you wanted it, because you thought it was going to give you a certain feeling, and it's not going to give you that feeling. That feeling you have to create yourself. The beautiful thing is that when you create that feeling yourself, the thing is going to come in anyway, but that's not the source of the feeling. The manifestation is not the source of the feeling. You are the source of the feeling. So often I see people wanting something because they think it's going to make them feel a certain way, or they think it's going to make them feel a certain way about themselves, or it's going to change their beliefs about themselves or their sense of self-worth, and it's not going to do that. No manifestation can do that for you. Maybe temporarily you're going to get some instant gratification here, but that's not going to last. So the manifestation that you are waiting for is only a representation for the state of being that you are truly after, for the feeling that you are truly after. You may think you care about the thing, but you don't care so much about the thing or the person or the experience than you do about feeling abundant, feeling worthy, feeling loved, feeling whole. Those are the things that you really want. And as I said before, incredibly, when you create these feelings within yourself, for yourself, the things that you initially thought you wanted, that were a representation of the feeling that you were really after, they're going to come in, because now you're magnetic to them. Because now you feel worthy of them. Now you already feel abundant. Now you already feel loved. Now you already feel whole. Now you already feel wealthy. Now you already feel free, whatever it is. I can promise you, and I speak from experience, it's actually not fun when you get a manifestation that you've been working on for a really long time and you're still not happy after the fact because you didn't work on the feeling first. This is also why I rarely call myself a manifestation coach, and I more often call myself a self-concept coach, is because whilst my work, my teachings, my coaching will absolutely get you the reality that you want, it will absolutely get you your manifestations externally, tangibly, physically. And I say this because I've done it myself. I say this because I have the proof from my client success stories. But whilst I can help you manifest your wildest dreams, it is not about that at all. We need the foundation first. And the foundation is the self-concept. And that is why what I really help you with is radically transforming your self-concept and then the rest just follows pretty naturally. Since we've been talking so much about the feelings that we desire to experience and the feelings that we need to generate in order to manifest the things we want, let me know in the comments. What is the feeling that you are after? What is the feeling that you are longing to experience? I can't wait to hear it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in next week's video.